A reading from the book of Genesis. The length of Sarah's life was 127 years. She died at Kiriath Arba, or Hebron, in the land of Canaan, and Abraham went in to mourn and grieve for her. Then, leaving his dead, Abraham spoke to the sons of Heth. "I am a stranger and a settler among you," he said. "Let me own a burial plot among you, so that I may take my dead wife and bury her." After this, Abraham buried his wife Sarah in the cave of the field of Machpelah opposite Mamre, in the country of Canaan. By now Abraham was an old man, well on in years, and the Lord had blessed him in every way. Abraham said to the eldest servant of his household, the steward of all his property, "Place your hand under my thigh. I would have you swear by the Lord, God of heaven and God of earth, that you will not choose a wife for my son from the daughters of the Canaanites among whom I live. Instead, go to my own land and my own kinsfolk to choose a wife for my son Isaac." The servant asked him, "What if the woman does not want to come with me to this country? Must I take your son back to the country from which you came?" Abraham answered, "On no account take my son back there. The Lord, God of heaven and God of earth, took me from my father's home and from the land of my kinsfolk, and he swore to me that he would give this country to my descendants. He will now send his angel ahead of you, so that you may choose a wife for my son there. And if the woman does not want to come with you, you will be free from this oath of mine. Only do not take my son back there." Isaac, who lived in the Negeb, had meanwhile come into the wilderness of the well of Lahai Roi. Now Isaac went walking in the fields as evening fell, and looking up saw camels approaching. And Rebekah looked up and saw Isaac. She jumped down from her camel and asked the servant, "Who is that man walking through the fields to meet us?" The servant replied, "That is my master." Then she took her veil and hid her face. The servant told Isaac the whole story, and Isaac led Rebekah into his tent and made her his wife, and he loved her. And so Isaac was consoled for the loss of his mother. The Word of the Lord. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. As Jesus was walking on, he saw a man named Matthew sitting by the customs house, and he said to him, "Follow me." And he got up and followed him. While he was at dinner in the house, it happened that a number of tax collectors and sinners came to sit at the table with Jesus and his disciples. When the Pharisees saw this, they said to his disciples, "Why does your master eat with tax collectors and sinners?" When he heard this, he replied, "It is not the healthy who need the doctor, but the sick. Go and learn the meaning of the words, 'What I want is mercy, not sacrifice.' And indeed, I did not come to call the virtuous, but sinners." The Gospel of the Lord.